Good morning, Gulf Coast. I'm Bryan Kennedy. Yesterday, the 20th edition of the Billfish Classic Tournament wrapped up here on the coast. We'll tell you all about it in just a bit. But first, here's Chief Meteorologist Rob Knight. Look at your weather.
Here has a little special friend.
Who? I don't see anybody. Coming up over the break. Hi, buddy. We'll introduce you to Hamlet, our Jackson County Animal Shelter Pet of the Week, if he stays around here and doesn't leave.
You guys ready? So a minute 30, as many as you can eat.
I was born ready, Cat.
All right, Brian's getting a little cocky here. All right, are you guys ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
Let's go, Brian.
Oh, so dry.
Brian. Come on. Let's go, Brian.
Brian, he's shoving it in there. You got to get in there.
It's so dry.
Good morning, Gulf Coast. I'm Bryan Kennedy. Katerina Lukatich has the morning off. We're currently following breaking news out of George County where a police chase suspect has been apprehended. Now, that chase started in Biloxi, traveled through Jackson County, and like I said, just ended in George County. I mean, it shows just how far-reaching one man's music from Minnesota to Australia by New Zealand artists. I mean, it's truly amazing how many people he touched.
Absolutely. And, you know, thinking back on that, it seemed like it happened so quickly.
And I got one more silver dollar.
Your Grammy's next, man.
It's coming, I'm telling you.
Heard it here first. Heard it on News 25 first.
From the parents that you've talked to, or brothers or sisters or family members, what have you seen and how you all can kind of help and build off each other?
We have seen that everybody grieves differently.
Shoo-wee! These porta potties are pretty much your only option if you need to use the restroom or you're on the beach here in Waveland. And on a day like today, when it's sunny and over 90 degrees, beachgoers say, well, it's not their favorite option. The mayor says he knows that and he's ready to change it. Through JCLC, cadets get to train to take their teamwork ability to new heights. Speaking of new heights, this is a little bit higher than I thought. Chief Sullivan says to also always check your heaters to see if they're ETL or UL listed. This means they're tested and certified safe. Also, always check your smoke detectors. They can save your life and your property. The texting and driving law wasn't the only Mississippi law to go into effect today. There were several improvements made to Mississippi gun laws, and now these Mississippi vehicle inspection stickers are a thing of the past.
This Thursday will be 3 weeks that my daughter was killed, and it'll be the worst 3 weeks of my life. Because of that, I am not going to stop.
And stop she hasn't. Rose Luciano Foss and her family have been canvassing the city, searching for answers.
She didn't deserve what happened to her. The person that did this to her just kept going. They didn't dial 911. They did nothing to aid her, nothing to help her. They clearly just simply had no regard for another life.
Today, a memorial surrounded by flowers serves as a reminder of a 23-year-old woman who's remembered for having spunk and a big heart, evidenced by a kind gesture she made when she herself was in the hospital for heart complications.
I'd woken up with her not being next to me, and it worried me, and I when I got up to go look for her, she was over she was feeding the patient next to us her breakfast. It was an elderly lady that was ill and not able to do that for herself.
What exactly do police know? They know that during the early morning hours of June 18th, Shelby was walking down Waveland Avenue when, between 1 a.m. and 4 a.m., she was struck and killed. Now the police need your help to figure out who is responsible.
And that's what we're looking for, is anybody with any information. Even though you may see it as being insignificant, it may mean everything in the world.
Whether you saw Shelby walking that night, was in the area around the time of the incident, or possibly saw the vehicle in question, the police and Luciano Foss desperately need your help.
If you can hear me now, I am begging you now to step up. Just take responsibility for this situation so that this family and myself can have closure.
In Waveland, I'm Bryan Kennedy, News 25.
This place is awesome.
Like father, like sons. For the third year in a row, the Eaton family combed through this wooded area in search of the perfect Christmas tree. And for this Coast family, there's nothing like the real thing.
Because you don't get the real Christmas spirit when you get something artificial. You got to go to the yard and you got to cut them down.
And that's just what families have been doing here since the farm sprung up in 1989. And while Gartman's is slightly off the beaten path, it's a popular spot as customer accounts of picking out the perfect tree here spread like wildfire.
We were talking to our daughter-in-law, and she works with a girl that comes out here and has been coming out here for years and getting her tree. So we decided Why not? We try it.
Yeah.
Owner Danny Gartman says this farm is a family business that requires time, patience, and hard work, but it's all worth it.
Being able to see the kids and the families and all of them come out here and join us year after year. We started selling to people back many years ago, and now we are selling to those kids.
Oh, Christmas tree, I really love your branches. This is the one. Now what do I do?
You get a choice. You can either cut it yourself or we can cut it for you. They like to stand out there and watch the whole process being done, Dad cutting it, or a lot of people don't like to cut it themselves. But some families, you know, they have family traditions. They like to do that.
The Gartmans are they're great people. They take care of things. When you come out here, they help you everything you need. If you want a specific size, specific place, they know their yard. They know everything.
In Socher, I'm Bryan Kennedy, News 25. Nearly 1,000 people gathered for today's service as a community grieved and officers saluted, honoring their fallen brother, Josie Wells. Members from all branches of law enforcement were on hand, including the top law enforcement official of the United States.
I want to thank you all for this opportunity to pay tribute to the inspiring life and the courageous work of Josie Wells, a man, a patriot actually, who gave his life in the service of our beloved country.
Long-time friendships in law enforcement. You know, we're a family, we're a brotherhood, and you know, on a day like today, it's very sobering.
It also takes a special person, a special spouse, to support such a dangerous career. Josie Wells married that woman.
2014 brought about some hardships, but it ended so perfectly when we found out we were pregnant. And we were like, you know what, we were so grateful 2015 is going to be even better.
But last Tuesday came the news every spouse of law enforcement fears.
When they came to my job to pick me up, I was like, you can't be serious. You can't be serious. But in a way, I think that was God's way of preparing me for it.
Take me to the King. I don't have much to bring.
But when Josie's unborn son is born and grows up to be a man, he and his mother are sure to be surrounded by a community who would keep Josie Wells' memory and legacy alive. A life well lived and a man who fulfilled his calling here on earth to protect and serve.
My heart is torn in pieces. It's my offering.
In Wade, I'm Bryan Kennedy, News 25.
Ocean Springs resident Doug Myatt and his fiance Brandon have lived in the area for a year and say this is the first time they've experienced anything of this nature. It looks like we're experiencing some difficulties there. Now that flyer did state that it was a mass flyer drive and that no one was targeted because of race or religion. The Ocean Springs Police Department is collecting surveillance video from homes along the street to help identify the individuals responsible.